Alright, what's up guys? Mental here with another sniping tips video. This one is going to be for the AX-50. I'm going to try and make the tips different from the last video, which was the Car 98. A lot of them still apply. The first and main tip is the class. If you're going to be using this in multiplayer, this gun is way too slow, right? So you got to put everything you can to make it quick. For quick scoping, even if you're gonna just to be usable. So you're gonna want to put on the 17-inch factory barrel, the tack laser, the Singarm's arms assassin, stipple grip tape, and focus. Focus just because most of the time whoever you're shooting at will get a shot on you. This is gonna help negate that as much as you're able to do with this created class system. So the flinch resistance is probably as important as making this gun quick. Other than that, if you wanted to switch it around, I mean, maybe you could take off like the stippled and put on like a thermal scope to help, or maybe the Merc thermal optic. I've used that and it's pretty good. This is actually the best, in my opinion, the best optic to use in Warzone, because you get the thermal, you get ADS time, and you get no glint. So that's a little side trick. If you want to have a thermal, I highly recommend this one, because the zoom isn't as great. You get a 3.25 zoom compared to an 8 times, but if they're outlined, you're not going to have a hard time seeing them. You could still see people across the Warzone map with this Merc thermal optic. So other than that, the created class, do whatever you want for the secondary and the perks. This is what I'm running. Throwing knife, stim, EOD, ghost, and amped. Just because I switched to my pistol a lot to move quicker, because the sniper is a big and heavy gun, you move slow with it. So to get around the map, especially in this game with some of the bigger maps, you're going to want to put something that you can move quick with in your secondary slot. Other than that, it's up to you. Like I said, I mean, this is the class that I recommend. Again, the 17-inch factory barrel, tack laser, Singarm's arm assassin, stipple grip tape, and focus. If you're going to be running this gun in something like Warzone, like I said, maybe for Warzone you can take off focus, throw on the thermal sight, throw on the longest barrel possible. I want to take this off and throw on a monolithic. This is what I would recommend for Warzone. It works pretty well, but if you're going to be sniping in Warzone, there's really no reason not to use the HDR, just in my opinion. Alright, but we're going to hop into some multiplayer, and we're going to try out this Weekend Warfare. I don't know what it is. I don't know what maps, what game modes. I played one map, and it was on Condor Hideout. So I'll see you guys when we get into a match. Alright, so we got a TDM on Condor. That's not, I mean, this map isn't too bad. But yeah, if you guys saw the first tip was the class. Went over what to create, and as you can see, I mean, it's decently quick. He's gonna try to push around this corner. But yeah, like I said, I don't use this gun that much anymore, honestly, now that I use just the car. But it's still a good gun. I mean, to an extent. So a lot of the tips are the same as the car video, my last video I made. And the main one is to center the person in your screen before you shoot. Because in this game, especially with the sniper, you're not going to have a lot of time to really get him in the center of your scope in a lot of the situations. So you want to be able to scope in and just shoot right away. So I'm using that dot in the middle of my screen, and I'm going to try and get that dot as close as possible to him before I start scoping in. That's where a lot of the shots will come from. With that tip comes also that you want to have your gun ready to shoot when you're turning corners. You want to hug the corner with that dot, and you want to not be sprinting, because the sprint to fire speed in this game is really a downside to almost any gun. If someone's not sprinting and they have their gun up, they're going to be able to get 2 to 3 shots off with a lot of the guns for sure one shot off with the sniper before you're able to get out of that sprint and pull your gun up. I am not the biggest fan of this map, in all honesty. I don't know, it feels all over the place. Like, I don't know. I get having it is a 3-lane map technically speaking, but it just does. There's so many crisscross ways to get to each lane, and you're constantly having to look every direction. But yeah, the tips so far are how you create your class, using that dot in the center of your screen and centering the person before you pull the trigger, because you want to have most of the work done for you, before you have to scope in and do little minor adjustments. And to have your gun up and ready to shoot, so being out of a tactical sprint or a sprint in general. As far as your settings go, personally, so I use I play on PC, but I use a controller, and my sensitivity is 1818. But the sensitivity doesn't matter really. Like, there's not any set best sensitivity. It's more of what's best for you. If I had to give you a tip for your sensitivity, it would be to go no lower than 8 and as high as you're comfortable with. You don't need to have an insanely high sensitivity to do well with a sniper. The sweet zone is between like 8 and 12 for most people. Really, you want to be above 8, um, and as high as possible, like I said. The higher you go, the quicker you'll be able to do like a 180 if somebody runs past you or behind you or shooting you from behind. But the harder it is to get your shot on. Of course, that comes with practice, and I joined this game late and we got absolutely shit on. But I'm actually in a rush, so I'm going to go over some of the tips, and there's not going to be too much gameplay in this video, but I will release more videos with the AX-50. This is just mainly for tips, not to, hit shots. So, create a class, using that dot and centering your screen, having your gun up ready to shoot. The only big thing I can give you for settings wise is to just try and get above 8 sensitivity, but find what's best for you. And then another one is dead zone. If you play with your dead zone, get it as low as possible without having a drift in your screen. Alright, so the best tip I can give you settings wise is your dead zone. So right now I have it on 0 dead zone, everything, as low as it can go. And if you can see, I am not touching the controller. My controller is drifting slightly to the right. So what you are going to want to do is go completely to 0 and just go up a couple notches at a time and get it to where your controller doesn't drift. Okay, so the best number for me is 0.07. That is not, the dot is not moving at all without me touching the controller. So when you find the lowest number that you can go without your controller drifting, this is going to give you the quickest time that your screen reacts to when you move the analog stick. So you're going to be able to, it's just going to feel a lot more responsive. That's just about the biggest tip I can give you. As far as, like I said, sensitivity is, it's up to you. I would leave the ADS sensitivity multiplier on 1 unless you want to mess with that. I haven't really gotten into messing with these at all. The aim response curve type, just leave it on standard. Aim assist, put it on standard. And that's about it as I can give you for settings. But yeah, like I said, overall, I wouldn't recommend the AX-50 over the Kar 98. The Kar 98 for multiplayer is just much better. It's faster, quicker, it does a little less damage, but both guns are going to give you hit markers. And the Kar 98 just feels a lot better in my opinion. So, with that being said, the tips, one more time, are the create class. If you want to go back to the beginning of the video and use the class I recommended, you could do that. I also gave you a Warzone class that I would recommend. That's the one that I've used in Warzone and had a lot of success with it. The last thing is to use that dot in the center of your screen and have that gun ready to shoot. So hug the corner with that dot, and then that way with your gun ready to shoot, you can have the quickest reaction time possible. Because at the end of the day, that's what you have to do when you're trying to quick scope, is you have to get a shot off before they do. Because even though you say you are using focus on your class, the flinch in this game is still really bad, especially with snipers, and especially if you're down the scope already. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If this video helped you at all, let me know in the comments, and if there's anything I could do to make the video any better, let me know in the comments, because at the end of the day, I just want to make the best videos possible. I know I didn't have a lot of gameplay in this video, but I recorded for about an hour, got some decent gameplay, and all the audios were messed up. By audios, I mean my voice, the game, like everything was just broken. So I had to scrap that, and I was just going to edit it before I have to go somewhere. But I can't, and I'm going to be away from home for the next couple days. So I wanted to record this quick little video. Trust me, guys, I wanted it to be better. I had some, decent stuff. But I'm going to be releasing more videos on the AX-50, especially if you guys are wanting it. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. If you liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, peace out, guys.